Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to another episode of the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Atto Aesthetics, the #1 coaching and consulting company serving the spa industry through courses, coaching, and programs that transforms aesthetic professionals into spa CEOs. And let me tell you, today we have a real spa CEO in the house. I am so honored to welcome not only an incredibly accomplished spa owner, a spa CEO, but truly an incredible and accomplished woman and friend, Mechelle Barras. When she and I first met, she was telling me how she's a retired police sergeant, she's a nurse, she's a med spa owner, and now she's really getting into mindset coaching for women. And I just remember thinking, wow, I thought I was someone that got a lot done, but Mechelle is at a whole new level. I think we all need a Mechelle in our lives to really help push us to be the best version of ourselves. And I'm so grateful she's in mine. I'm so grateful to get to share her experience and expertise with you in this podcast episode. We cover a ton, but what I think that you're going to be most interested in by is the explosive growth that she's had in the past year in her med spa. We are talking growth in the multiple six figures. So she is just a wealth of knowledge. She's so open in sharing what she's actually done to accomplish that growth. So let's go ahead and play that interview. All right, Mechelle, I am so excited to welcome you on to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. This has been a long time coming because you joined Growth Factor. I was immediately like, holy smokes, this woman is like a superwoman of accomplishments. I talked about it a little bit in the intro, but for me to meet someone who has, you're a retired police sergeant, you're an esthetician, you're a nurse, you own a med spa. And on top of that, the thing that always sticks out to me is you never missed one of your daughter's games. Mm-hmm. And for a period of time, you were a single mother.
Correct.
And to hear all of those things, and for someone like me that's like in the thick of it, of raising kids and being a working mom and all of that kind of stuff, it's so inspiring to see other people's journeys that have accomplished big things and like, okay, she didn't miss one of the daughter's games, right? Or didn't do that. And she still was able to have her own identity and own accomplishments and be successful, but not lose these other parts. So I just want to like give credit to you for that, because that alone is like a wow. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Thank you. I didn't think I was going to get emotional starting off, but okay.
I'm going to ask you a question. This just kind of randomly came to me, but I talk with my husband all the time about drive and wondering like, how do you teach drive? Do you think that drive, like as someone who's clearly a driven individual, is that something you're born with, or is that something that you can teach?
That's a great question. I think that it's both. I think that you have to be born with a certain amount of ambition and drive within your soul. Mm-hmm. But I think that who you surround yourself with and the people that influence your life create that drive within you. And without those positive impacts around you, then I think that drive can get buried even if you're born with it. So if you're not born with it, I totally think that it can be taught to someone. I think it can be learned. I think it can be grown within a person. As long as you find that core value of people to really surround yourself with. And those people are already driven people, successful people, people who are going to keep you on your toes, keep you motivated, and keep you knowing that there's a bigger picture for you, and you just have to go find your picture.
Yeah. In Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg's book that came out however many years ago, I remember her saying that one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make is your choice in a partner in life. And that partner can either push you to be the best version of yourself, or they can be complacent and just cause you to settle, right? Mm-hmm. And so our partners are typically the people that we spend the most amount of our time with. And
whether you're in a relationship or not, your circle of people is incredibly important. I find that for my own mindset. I know you're big on mindset. You're a mindset coach yourself, but being able to keep my mind in a positive place and keep seeing possibility and opportunity and keep that passion. It is all about like the people that we're surrounding ourselves with and being comfortable setting boundaries to block the people that don't serve us, which
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I read a book. So I'm married now, but I have been divorced, obviously. And when I divorced from I don't have 50 husbands running around or anything, but when I divorced from my second husband, that was the hardest thing I probably ever had to do in my life, was to put me first and decide that my life mattered. And that if my life wasn't happy, no one's life was going to be happy. And I read a book when I split up with him, and I can't remember the author's name. I think her first name was Amy, but it was called the Itty Bitty Breakup Book. And in the book, it talked about surrounding yourself with good people. And while you're busy settling for Mr. Good, better than nothing, the Mr. who is something can't come along while you're settling. I think that in life and in business and in friendships, everything, if you're settling, then something that's better than nothing, something to just have a companion or a friend or a partner around, you're missing out on what the big scheme of plans are for your life.
Yeah, that's so true. You've got to create that space to come in. Okay, so let's kind of transition into the med spa owner.
Okay.
Mechelle, the med spa owner. You have had tremendous growth this year. I don't know if you want to share numbers, or if you want to share percentages, or whatever you're comfortable with. But tell me a little bit about what your business had been like and what the growth was that happened this year.
Yeah, so it's been amazing, especially with COVID. I was really uncertain what would happen with COVID and everything that changed, but med spa world we have 100% increased our revenue from the prior year. We have doubled it. You could probably even add a few more dollars and cents to that we did with our numbers this year. My business partner and I think the biggest change for us was I finally started working on the business and not in the business, and realizing that someone has to work on it. We can't be in the treatment room all the time. You can, but you're not going to grow the way we wanted to grow. So we expanded our hiring team. We expanded the services that we offer. We upped our pay scale with our employees to really make sure we're bringing in quality employees. And we've found that accountability person. And that was you in Growth Factor. When we signed up for Growth Factor last year, we made our investment back within the first 30 days. We hadn't even started coaching yet. And you and I had made the money back, which was a godsend. And truly knowing that I have a monthly mastermind with you and that there's going to be feet to the fire. What have you done for your business? I only missed one meeting thus far because I got the times all confused, but I was like, oh, I missed a meeting. And I was all freaked out about it. But I was like, oh, she's got to hold me accountable, because that drove me to you were a stranger to me when we met. But the drive within me was, I want to show people that are normal, average, everyday citizens just like me. I'm no one special. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a famous person. I don't walk into a grocery store and people know who I am. That you can do this. You can totally work on your business and allow people to work for your business.
It kind of goes back to that creating space. It's like, if you're in the treatment room every single day, yes, you're making money for yourself. But when you step out, it's like, what's the possibility? What could happen? And I just want to add, for you guys that are listening, it's not like Mechelle had a $50,000 a year business. This is a multi-six-figure business that, was already an incredibly successful business that she doubled. And that it is quite an accomplishment. So when you stepped out you really gave yourself the space to start working on the business. What exactly did that mean to you? Like,
So I'm still working in, I'm slowly transitioning out, but working on it, I limited my time with clients. I took my services specifically down to only that of injections or medical aesthetics. I wasn't doing the spa side of things, and I'm still holding that true. And then I cut my hours completely in the treatment room. I'm there in the treatment room 3 days a week for full hours. The rest of the time, I am advertising and word of mouth, getting with other businesses, wanting to know, with realtors, other hairstylists, what are you doing to compensate your customers? How can we better grow this together? We changed locations for us at the beginning of 2021, and we are close to a hospital now, and the hospital there had a spa within it, and that spa shut down, and we capitalized on that spa, but we didn't know it shut down when we moved there. We thought we were going into competition with another one, and it just happened to be word of mouth, got around. We took a small investment into some local television news stations that we have here and did some advertising through there. We got to be a guest on Indie Style TV when they were asking for appearances from local small businesses that they like to spotlight, and truly just business was my priority. I retired in 2021 from the police department. And for the last 5 years that we've been open, because we opened in 2015, I was a part-time owner. And my business partner, Christina, she ran our business full time. And she's 100% in the treatment room. So it was really hard for us to grow when she's 100% in the treatment room. And I was there 15 hours a week for 5 years. And that when I finally retired and realized if we truly want this business to go anywhere, and she kept telling me for the longest time, if you would focus as much on the spa as you do on the police department, as you do when you're going to school, just imagine what could happen. And she was right. And it happened. It seemed like overnight, but it was a long time coming that it did it, but allowing that growth to really just go. We changed our membership structure. We changed our pricing. We upped our game and treated ourselves as more of a med spa and not a chain, not a run of the mill. We are a destination that people want to come see. We have people come from other states that come see us and write reviews. And that's what we wanted. We still have bigger dreams that we want to do, but right now everything's going well over what we had expected.
So I'm just gonna be Coach Daniela here for a second.
Here we go.
What do you think would have happened if you would have cut those boundaries even more and completely removed yourself from the treatment room?
I think we would have grown bigger. I do. But I was so afraid to even now, I'm still so afraid to completely remove myself from the treatment room, because you have those clients that I only see you. I only want to come to you. And I love that. I love that they love me, but I hire people just like me, and we train them just like we are to do exactly what we do. I know that we can hit 7-8 figures if I totally remove myself from the room. It's just I
think you're close enough. You could hit 7 figures this year if you really.
100%. We on our mastermind call yesterday with the tier structure, I've already started on that. And my goal, because I'm only about 150,000 shy of hitting that 7 figures this year. So my goal is to do that for sure.
Well, now you just publicly said it. So we're going to hold you accountable. So I want to highlight something here because, it is, I think, one of the scariest things as a business owner, because most estheticians who start spas, they start out as a solo, or they start out with just 1 or 2 employees, and then they grow. And it is that like initial, I'm in the treatment room, and then how do I get myself out of the treatment room? And we do have such a deep relationship and such care for the people, and almost like a loyalty that it's like, hey, these people regularly came in to see me, to support my business, believed in me, helped me get to this place. And it is hard. But it does become a mindset thing of when you can grow bigger, if that's what you desire, if you want to get to that certain place, you can help more people. And helping more people, your business not only, helps people look and feel their best, builds their confidence, etc., but you're extremely involved in your community, helping women's shelters, helping support local business, all of those types of things. So I think that for the business owners out there that are listening and saying like, oh, but my people won't see anybody else. Yes, they will.
Mm-hmm.
They will. And, maybe 10% of your people will leave. And that's okay. That is going back exactly to that, creating more space for you to fulfill that need, that desire of whatever your dream or focus is. So now I'm going to put the Coach Mechelle hat on.
Okay. Before you do that though, for the girls who are just solos and starting out, I don't know if you knew this or not, but we started our business 5 years ago with no loans. The banks turned us down. They laughed at us basically because we came in with our business plan and they turned us down. And so we did it with 0 loans. And we're debt free. We don't have debt with it, but we did obviously 3-4 years ago, but we built it. So you can do it. And it was just she and I, when we started out, we didn't hire our first employee till 7 months in and went from there. And she's still with us, that very first employee we ever hired. And you can do it.
Let's unpack that for a second, because the timeline here, you're still working as a full-time police sergeant,
Mm-hmm.
which is not an easy job.
No.
Right? You have a family. When are you going to aesthetic school and nursing school?
So when I was still in the police department, my aesthetics program was part-time, Monday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. I did that for 8 months, and I started that in 2014. I finished in July of 2015. We opened the spa doors July 15th, 2015.
And then you decided to go to nursing school after that?
Yes, I did that in 2018. I wanted to do injections. That was my goal with our spa, was I wanted to be able to offer injections. We had a medical director, but he wasn't on site as much as I wanted him to be there. So I said, well, estheticians can do injections from what I hear underneath the doctor. And he goes, well, maybe, but not underneath this doctor. You have to be a nurse. And I said, well, okay, I'll go become a nurse. And I was still working full-time on the police department and at the spa. In 2018, I went back and did a accelerated BS to RN program and got my nursing license.
So right now, what I'm hearing from a lot of spa owners out there is, maybe it's just the climate with COVID and all the things, but I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed. It's just heavy. You feel like I'm working 12-hour days, How do you keep the motivation? How do you keep your focus on the goal that you want to accomplish?
So number one, first and foremost, I journal like no tomorrow. My daughter will have diaries of mom forever to read when I pass away. Journaling keeps me focused. And if I have a goal, I'm very goal driven. And a lot of my clients that I work with, that's what we work on, is being goal driven and how you can find that. And if you don't put your goals pen to paper, then they're really not existent. They're just in your mind. If you don't put a deadline on your goals, if you don't put an outline or an outcome that's going to happen, and you don't check in, then it's just a thought in the night it's passing through. So really, pen to paper keeps me focused, and every day I'm looking at it, and every day there's a new to-do list. I keep myself anally organized in planning and scheduling calendars and everything, to the point that I'm in control of it, and knowing that each day gets me to the bigger picture. And that bigger picture for me is mentoring young women my own age, to do exactly what I'm doing and to show that they can do it. I have full belief that any woman, regardless of her circumstances, can empower another woman and can change the way we do things. Because we just, as women, we don't build each other up like we should be building each other up. And that's what my bigger picture is just to see this big on this hill, all these women just hands up in the air, empowered women, knowing that they're there because of their hard work, not because someone put them there, not because they knew someone who put them there, not because they bought their way there, but because they worked hard to get there.
Yeah, that's such an incredible vision. And it's important for those listening that don't know your entire story. You did your police work, got the training for the med spa, have built this med spa, are going to hit 7 figures this year.
Yes.
And now with that business operating, you're also moving into the next phase of your life of being a mindset coach and really helping women in all industries make big transitions, reach their goals, have that confidence. So I know the pen to paper type of thing. Who holds you accountable? Like, I hold you accountable for the spa, right? Who holds you accountable on those days that, I know your daughter's older now, but like, I'm sure you went through this temper
She's still my accountability person though. Because yes, she is. Because I'm setting the example for her. She just took on a second job the other day. She was telling me I was so proud of her and everything that she told me she was accomplishing. But knowing that I'm leaving a legacy for her, to know that you don't need anyone to make it in life but yourself. It's nice to have someone to share it with because you want them, not because you need them. I want you to want them, don't need them.
Yeah, that's incredibly, it's reminding me, I had a few challenging things happen in my life. And when I was 17, my dad passed from malpractice, and it put this belief in me that I will never rely on a man for money. And it took a long time. It took until I was in my 30s to actually understand that I held that belief. Mm-hmm. And doing the mindset work and all of that kind of stuff. But I was very extremely focused on being able to financially support and care for myself at all cost. Mm-hmm. And then I got into my 30s and I was like, oh, let's process that. But I can see that having that choice of like, you can support yourself and doing it in a healthy way has been such an incredible driver for me, is that I want my daughter to be independent and able to make her choices and be in a relationship because she chooses to, not because of finances or whatever it is. Because you hear so many stories about women, oh, I couldn't leave because I couldn't support myself. Right. And it's a scary thing, right? Like, a lot of times women end up, staying home with the kids. They miss out opportunities on their careers. That's a whole other podcast.
Right.
But it's something that I think the point is knowing what your why is, what your motivator is that drives you. And for you, that's your daughter. Yes. To hold you accountable. Because when you're exhausted, it's like when we break that promise to ourselves, it's just breaking the chain. It's like, oh, I'm going to have a piece of cake, so I ruined my whole diet. It's like, no, get back on the train. Keep that going.
When she was younger, my daughter, Bailey, used to tell me, I would tell her, Bailey, you can be anything you want to be as long as you set your mind to it. And she got frustrated about 16 or 17 with me and told me, Mom, that's like a fairy tale. That is not true. I can't be anything or do anything that I want to be if I set my mind to it. I'm like, well, what makes you think that? And we really sat down and had a hard conversation about, and I was still in my second marriage at the time. And that was when the light bulb went off that it's time to set a new example, that you don't stay for the wrong reasons. And I was obviously staying for the wrong reasons. But she sat down and said, life isn't a fairy tale. And I went, no, it's not a fairy tale, but you create your ending. And if you don't like the way the ending is going, you change it. And so now that's what she tells all her friends. You don't like the ending, you change it. You write a new chapter. open up the book of you today and start what you're going to start doing. And that is exactly how I do any business that I ever become involved in, to know that I see the bigger picture, but I know that at any point in time, if I deviate along that path, I can change it. Mm-hmm. I know that Bailey is going to be there with cheerleading pom-poms rooting me on. And for her to see, she definitely got her drive and her hard work from me. Her dad's a hard worker too, but her drive and wanting to work more, she's definitely got that from me. Now she still has that, I hate to use the word millennial attitude of, I'm 25 years old and I need to live with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. I'm like, well, I didn't get that till I was in my 40s. So good luck with that one. Show me how we do that. And she's on a mission to show me that that's what you do. And so far she's holding true to that.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. No limits. No limits. Okay. So back to the spa. Let's give a little bit of advice what's some tactical advice for staying motivated when you're feeling overwhelmed? Because it's like, what if you don't have kids? What if you don't have whatever your why is? Because there are those times I'm coming off of 2.5 weeks of being sick. There were 5 days that I was isolated in my bed. I was not doing anything, right? You have these moments where you do need to rest. You can't be 100% all day, every day, right? Maybe you can. But
no, I can't.
there's moments as much as we would like to. So what are you doing besides pen and paper? You mentioned planning your calendar, mm-hmm. right? What kind of things are you planning? Exercise? Are you planning meals? Are you planning what you're going to focus on? What are you actually doing to say, here's what I'm going to spend my time on so that I accomplish the goals that I'm wanting to accomplish?
So I do a few things. My calendar is blocked out. So if I'm working at the spa 10 to 1, if I have a call with Daniela 2 to 3, whatever it is that I have going on in that day. And I always leave anywhere between 1.5 hours to 3 hours of time available each day for change, because change happens. And if change doesn't happen that day, then what I do with my time there is I rediscover why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I want to do it. I check in with, what are my goals for where I want business to be? What in my business needs work right now? And each time, that's what I'm focusing on. And I remind myself, you want to go on vacation here in a couple of weeks. You want to hang out in Aruba and you want to do this and you want to do that. It's hard for me to shut my brain off sometimes, even when I'm on vacation. Mm-hmm. So it allows me in that downtime of my calendar to really block it out. My husband would love for me to tell you I meal prep. I try to meal prep. I do really good at buying those meal prepped meals. And I try to do that because he and I are always talking about our weight before we go on vacation. And he tells me, you cook really well, but you don't cook small enough portions. Well, I don't know how to do that. So I meal prep, but it's, the grocery list is pretty much the same every week. We go every Sunday and we go together. I always have family time carved out in there. There is never a time and it's not like every Sunday from 4 to 6 is family time. My family knows when they need me and when they can get a hold of me. It's not like they have to schedule in to come see me, although my sisters do make appointments at the spa to come in. But it's very structured, but there's always, I don't ever want anyone or even myself to get in autopilot. Mm-hmm. I don't want to think that, because when you get in autopilot, that's when you get in that comfort zone and that's when you're not growing. Yes. So that's why I always have that 1.5 hours to 3 hours. It's not always, it's very rare that I have a 3-hour gap in my day. There's at least 1.5 hours. And in that 1.5 hours, usually if I'm not doing rediscovery of business and purpose, then that's when I'm getting some meditation in. I'm getting on my Peloton. I'm doing a walk in the park with a girlfriend, just something to really bounce ideas off of where I want to see things. I want to, I would love to see our spa grow into like a hotel suite where women come to do retreats. And I'm there doing women empowerment motivational speeches, and they're getting their hair, their nails. It's a one-stop shop. They can shop in a boutique, a bigger picture, down the road. I would love to see that. So that's where I'm always very vision oriented. Mm-hmm. I do vision boards. I write it out. I write myself those, $1 billion checks on a religious basis because I'm going to write myself $1 billion check one day. And I really just do all of these things to keep my mindset in that growth mindset.
You're doing the work.
I'm trying.
It's all the stuff that it's like, you need to meditate and you need to practice gratitude and you need to, for me, the thing that I've consistently done is my gratitude journal. And I love the start today. It's like you write 5 things that you're grateful for and then 10 goals that you already made happen, or you write them like they already happened. And then the one that you're focusing on right now.
Oh, I like that.
I do that every single day. And it keeps you focused on, okay, here's the 10 things that I'm going to make happen for the vision of my life in 10 years from now. And then what am I focusing on right now? Which right now it's retiring my husband. That's my...
me too. Oh. I told him 3 years. Give me 3 years.
3 years. I think I have less than a year.
So. Oh, well, good for you. You better start.
I'm working on it. So anyway, I love that because it's in rediscovering your purpose. I think, so often I find when I ask estheticians and spa owners, what do you want? That's the hardest question for them. They don't know. And knowing what you want makes it so much easier to break down and understand, like, here's what I want. And here is, if this project is not supporting that, then it's a no, right? It makes it a really easy decision-making process. Okay. Wrapping up, any last minute bits of advice, stories, things that helped you in this journey over the past year of, dramatic growth?
So I would say to anyone looking to grow, stay focused. You're going to have more bad days than good starting out. But once the good days start, they keep coming. And just like the positive affirmations you sent in our growth factor boxes that we got when we first started, that's still on my bathroom. I still say that to myself every morning. Every morning I look in the mirror, I find at least one thing positive to tell myself. And I say it out loud. And then I go through my positive affirmations and I see where I'm going to be. And I'm living like I'm already there.
Yes.
And when things go bad, find positive in it. Don't dwell on the negative. Find positive. I don't care how bad it is. You can always find positive. And if you need help finding positive, you're breathing, you're talking, you're alive, you're moving. There's your positive. Just always find the positive because that will continue to let you grow. I had a person tell me one time that I was too positive, and you can never be too positive. Now, life isn't hunky-dory. It's not always happy in Wonderland, but there is something. If you're having a bad day, tell someone. If they ask you, how are you doing? Don't hold back. Tell them you're having a bad day, because if you're not going to burden them by telling them that you're having a bad day. In fact, they may help you get over the bad day that you're having. So rely on that. I also
read something that if you are having a bad day and you say, I'm fine, then you're training your subconscious brain to think that this is fine.
Yes, just this last episode on my podcast that I just released is how the F word is keeping you stuck, and my F word is fine. So you're telling me you're overweight and you're fine. You're not fine, because if you tell yourself you're fine, 100% you stay in that mindset because it's fine. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay, so where can people find you, follow you, stay in touch with you that want to keep the positivity? Yay.
Okay. So there's a couple ways. So I have my Mechelle Barras website. It's mechellebarras.com, and it is Mechelle.
We'll link it up.
Okay. And then I'm on Instagram at Mechelle_Barras. And the spa is Pure Image Laser and Spa _ And we're at pureimagelaserandspa.com. If you come to Indy and want to visit our spa, I'm happy to give you a tour or have you shadow one of our estheticians. Anyone who comes in town in the SD world, we always are very welcoming to all of those.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So if you guys want to keep this conversation going, be sure to head on over to the Spa Marketing Made Easy Facebook group, tag us, and we will catch you on the next episode.